Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022, and my name is Sasha Monet. And always, I'm going to wait for a few people to join before I get started. I hope everybody's doing well on this. I think it's been raining on this rainy Wednesday. And I thank you for those of you who will tune in, and I also thank you for those of you who will go back and watch the replay. So I just want to say good morning to you all. And for those of you who saw yesterday's message, I pray that it blessed you, and I pray that you really got something from that message on yesterday. For those of you who may not know what I'm talking about, I am starting a series in honor of Black History Month called The Real Black History. And today is day 2 of the 28-day series. And each day I'm going to dedicate a day to shed light on the real Black history, who we are biblically. So that is my goal for this assignment. So I pray that that you will get a chance and go back and watch the replay from yesterday if you missed it. And also every day I'm just gonna build on what I taught from the day before. So just go back and watch if you didn't get to tune in, because I really want to shed light on who we are in our history. For those of you who don't know, I always had a love for history, especially Black history, and I wish that I had someone to teach me the truth, but I didn't have that. I felt like in life it was something missing, I didn't really know my history, as far as where we come from. All they really ever told us is that we were slaves in Africa and that's where we came from. But yet and still we was learning about everybody else's history in class, and that just never really set well with me. So it was when I began to when I became an adult is when I began to seek answers. And one of the lies that I heard was that uh, Africans sold other Africans into slavery. But that's a lie. That's not what happened. What happened was Africans sold Hebrews into slavery. And that's how we got here. But I'm going to get into that. So I'm gonna wait like 1 to 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So please, 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 if you didn't get a chance to watch the first day of the series, go back and watch that yesterday, because like I said, every day I'm gonna build on what I taught from the day before. So I'm about to get started in just a couple minutes. But I do want to share something with you that I did not think about on yesterday. For those of you who got a chance to see the video from yesterday, you saw that I had a lot of props, okay, and images, because, when I teach, I try to make it very, very interesting and very informative. So I forgot that I had this book on yesterday, because had I had this book with me on the live, then I would have been able to show you the image of the real Messiah, and well, not the image, but the color. I'm sorry, correction, the color of the real image of the real Messiah and the Father. But I wasn't thinking about it. So I'm gonna shed some light on that before I get started on today's video. So let me just backtrack a little bit and go to what I would have shared, the color of the true Messiah, what I would have shared on yesterday if I would have been thinking about it. So those of you who caught the video from yesterday, remember I said I went out of my way to go and buy this candle from Family Dollar because I wanted to have it for yesterday's video. Now yesterday's video was titled the image, okay, and you have to go back and watch it to see why I titled it that. But I just want to go to Revelation 1 chapter 14 verses Revelation chapter 1 verses 14 through 15 briefly, just to so I can share that with you from yesterday. So Revelation chapter 1 verse 14 through 15, this is from yesterday. His head and his hairs were white like wool and white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So yesterday I was telling you to look up the color of brass, so that you would have an idea of what the color of brass looks like. Some translations say brass, some translations say bronze. And then the one that I really want to get to from yesterday is Revelation chapter 4 verse 2. And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. So yesterday, if you were with me, I said Google the color of a jasper stone and the color of a sardine stone. And I was like, I wish I had something but that color, but I didn't. But I forgot that I had this book. So I just want to backtrack a little bit just to show you the color of the image of what the real Messiah looks like. So again, this comes from Revelation chapter 4 verse 2. And in the description in Revelation 4 and 2, it said, he that sat upon the throne had an appearance of jasper and a sardine. So as you can see, I'm going to put down the mic for a second. As you can see in this book, that's the color of jasper stones. And I know it's backwards, but it says rainbow jasper stones. So it's these stones right here, okay? And then this stone right here is the color of the sardine stone. So as you can see, I pretty much debunked the lie of this imposter on yesterday, and that's why it's entitled yesterday's message, the image. Okay, so please, if you didn't get a chance to watch the video from yesterday, if you joining in now, go back and watch the video from yesterday, because like I said, every day in this series I'm gonna build on what I taught the day before. So I just wanted to show these images. This is also another picture of jasper stones. So that gives you an illustration of the color of what the true Messiah looks like. Not this impersonator right here, okay? Because he is an impersonator. And I'm not racist. I'm just pro-truth and provoking your thought, okay? So now that I have, shared those colors of what the true Messiah looks like, got that out the way, I want to go ahead and get started with today's message, okay? So, today is day 2 of the 28-day series, and today's message is titled, The Motherland. Now, every day I ask and I talk to God about a title, and he'll give me a title, and I think I'm going to keep the title that I had from yesterday, and I think I like this title for today. I think it's pretty fitting for today's message. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. The Motherland, okay? Day 2 of the 28-day series. So what I want to say is that, remember yesterday I was talking about conditioning and how they like to condition us, right? And how they like to suppress the truth. And that's why yesterday I really wanted to have images and props for you so that you can have visions and illustrations. And so what they do is condition our minds so we will accept their truth and accept their image and accept this. So that's why in all the movies and the books and stuff, that's why you see the image of this man, but this is not his true image. Good morning, Miss Wanda. Hey, how you doing? Good morning, Katara. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for watching. So, yes, Miss Wanda, if you didn't get a chance to watch day one of the series, go back and watch that replay if you get a chance. I don't know who I'll watch, but yes. Welcome. Thank you, all of you, for who are tuning in. So one of the things I wanted to say is that they always portray Africa as poor. Notice in and this is going back to what I was teaching about on yesterday about conditioning. Notice all of the hunger commercials that they play. They always got these little snot-nosed children. You see their bones. They ain't got no meat on their bones. They hungry. They don't got no clothes on, no shoes. They hair, they broke and ain't got no money. They poor. They living in poverty. Well, Africa is a very, very large continent. In fact, it's the largest continent, but they always try to make it seem like it's the smallest. But what people don't know is that there are rich parts of Africa, and Africa have freeways, and I never been to Africa, but I just want to say that every part of Africa is not poor. See, I used to think that until I started watching, pastors and things that have traveled to Africa before, and they they teach that, all of Africa is not poor, but they want to, that's what they want us to think. So when you see those hunger commercials and stuff, the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about Africa is poverty, poor, they're not worth anything. They don't have anything. That's that imagery and that conditioning that I was talking about on yesterday, but it's not true. All of Africa is not impoverished. Okay, so I'm going to debunk that lie. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. So Africa in Hebrew, because remember, we are Hebrew. We are of Hebrew descent. So is the Savior, the true Savior, not that imposter on that candle. The true Savior is a Hebrew, okay? And I know it's hard to believe because they told us that we all came from Africa, or they told us that we are African Americans, but we aren't African Americans at all, and no shade to Africans, because I love all people, but that's why we don't have any connection with Africans, because we're not African. Now, as a child, I wondered, and just going through life, and I wondered to myself, how did we get here from Africa? But it's still millions of black people in Africa today. So I wondered to myself, how did my family get here? How did my classmates and my teachers and stuff get here? What was different about us, the reason why we got here, but they were still left over there? And they still got their customs, and they still got their traditions, and they still got their language. It didn't make sense to me. And so I heard somebody say, well, Africans sold other Africans into slavery. But it didn't make sense to me, because I'm like, how could we be so treacherous as a people to sell our own people into slavery? You see, that's the conditioning that I was talking about on yesterday. You see, that's what they want us to think. They want us to think that we so low of a people that we would sell our own people into slavery. But you see, that's not what happened. What happened was when the Hebrews, the children of Israel, were fleeing the Roman persecution, and this is all in the Bible, and I'm going to get to this part on tomorrow, but I'm not going to go too much into depth in it today, because that's not what today's message is about, but I just want to give you a little bit of background. But what happened was, the children of Israel, when they were fleeing persecution from the Romans, okay, white people, the European people, they fled into Africa. So that's how the children of Israel, the Hebrews, that's how they fled into Africa, and they hid themselves, okay, they camouflaged among the Africans. But when these Hebrews, these children of Israel, they fled into the land of Africa and tried to camouflage with black people that was already in that land, these Africans which are Egyptians, okay, They that's another thing in the movie portrayals. They portray Africans, they portray Egyptians as Africans, but they really are Egyptians. Okay, Africans are Egyptians. They like to, in the movies, make Africans or make the Egyptians look like white people, but they're not. Okay, Africans are Egyptians. But anyway, what I was saying was, so when the children of Israel fled Roman persecution from King Herod, because he was trying to murder all of them, okay, the real Jews, which are us, they tried to camouflage among them because they were black. So that's why they had to hide. That's why they had to go into Africa, because they had to mix in with people that had the same skin color as them, so they was camouflaging. So what happened was, when these people who had their own customs and traditions, and they dressed different and they spoke different and stuff, and the only thing that they had in common with them was skin color and some physical characteristics, but that's it. They like, hold up, wait a minute, who is these people intruding on our land? So that's what happened. Africans sold the Hebrews, okay, the children of Israel, into slavery to the Europeans, the Spanish, the French, and they dispersed us among the nations, which is all this is in the Bible, what I'm telling you. And that's how we got here through the transatlantic slave trade, is because they sold us into Africa. Now, the Most High, he prophesied that this was going to happen. He told them that they would be scattered among the nations if they didn't obey and keep his commandments. But they hard-headed. We the same stiff-necked people that he talked about in the Bible. But I'm going to say that for another video. But I just wanted to give you some back info on that. So that's how we even got here in the first place. So that's why the Bible says you got to study to show yourself approved. And when you start studying and start connecting the dots, then the Spirit of truth will lead you and guide you into all truth, and things begin to make sense. So yes, so Africa in Hebrew is Alkebulan, okay, and I'm gonna spell it for you because I know I'm a little country. So it's Alkebula, Alkebulan, okay. Africa is Alkebulan in Hebrew, and what Alkebulan is, it is the ancient name for Africa in Hebrew. So what other notes do I have? So Alkebulan means mother of mankind, or garden of Eden. So what I did was, one day, because I Google a lot, I typed in, what does Africa mean in Hebrew? And so when I typed that in, Alkebulan came up. And it said that Alkebulan means mother of mankind, or the Garden of Eden. So if it means the Garden of Eden, and Alkebulan is the ancient Hebrew name for Africa, then it makes sense to say that the Garden of Eden had to be in Africa. Okay? So we can pretty much conclude that from the meaning of Alkebulan, which means Garden of Eden. So Genesis 3:19, I was talking about this yesterday. By the sweat of your face you will eat bread until you return to the ground, because out of it you were taken, for you are dust, and to dust you will return. So yesterday I was talking about Adam and Eve were created from dust. So how could they have been white? Okay, the appearance of dust and gray, just catching up a little bit about what I taught about on yesterday. And so we learned on yesterday that Adam is a Hebrew name, which means son of the red earth. Okay, and Adam comes from the Hebrew word Adamah, Adamah, meaning earth. So Eve in Hebrew means life or living. It can also mean full of life and mother of life. So I said all of that to say, and I'm going to go back to my notes, because I want you to put this together. I want you to catch this, because this actually is really deep if you really listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain it to the best of my ability. Okay, so I'm going to go back a little bit. If Africa in Hebrew, okay, is Alkebulan, okay, so basically the Hebrew word for Africa is Alkebulan, and Alkebulan is ancient for it's the ancient Hebrew name for Africa, but the word means life or living, right? Alkebulan means life or living, and it can also mean full of life or mother of life. So it would be safe to say that that's why the term the motherland came into play. And the Holy Spirit gave me that on yesterday because see, that's what I was talking about, conditioning. You see what I'm saying? We've been conditioned. So when you think about it, think about this. Everybody know Africa to be the motherland, right? Everybody should know that, whether you white, black, Puerto Rican, Chinese, Russian, German, French, whatever. Everybody know Africa as the motherland. But mother who? Who is the mother of the land of Africa, right? See, it never dawned on me. Who's the mother? Who is the mother? Why? What I'm trying to get you to see, why is Africa known as the motherland? How did that term come into play? Right? So it's safe to say that if Alkebulan means mother of life and the Garden of Eden was in Africa, then somebody knows something, right? So that had to be how the name or the term the motherland came into play, because somebody somewhere knew that Eve was the mother of the land of Africa. Because what does Eve mean? It means life or living. You see, the Father, he is so intentional and so purposeful about everything that he does. When he named his children, their names had meaning. Adam, it means the son of the red earth. Eve means mother or life or living. So if the Garden of Eden was in Africa, then that's how the name the motherland came into play, because she was the mother of the land, the motherland, hence the name, the title for today's message. I hope y'all caught that. So Eve means life or living. So Egypt, okay? Egypt is a country located in Northeast Africa. Egypt is located in Africa. But they don't want us to know that Egypt is in Africa. So they make it seem like Egypt is part of the Middle East. So we all know from school that there are 7 continents, and I got to look at my notes because it's been a long time since I've been in school. But you have Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. Those are the 7 continents. So I always wondered to myself, because I guess I was very inquisitive, and I wondered to myself, why is it that the Middle East is always referred to as a region or a location or a geographical location or region, and it don't belong or seem to belong to a continent? That never sat well with me. I'm like, okay, we learning about these 7 continents, but all of them have names: Antarctica, Asia, South America, North America. But why is it that we refer to the Middle East as the Middle East? So I was like, some just ain't adding up about this. Well, that's because they don't want us to know that that Egypt is really primarily, the majority of Egypt is really in Africa. But they don't want us to know that. So they say Middle East. Now you got to remember that them Jews that's over there in Israel, that's not their land. That's our land. But that's not what this message is about. So it makes sense. So yes, they refer to the Middle East as the Middle East instead of actually admitting that it's part of a continent, which it belongs primarily to Africa. Because to admit that, you have to admit that we are the people of the book, the people of the Bible. I'll just say that. So, all other countries belong to a continent, but the Middle East is always referred to as a region or location. So, what else do I have in my notes? Okay, so the ancient name for Egypt is Mizraim, okay? And Mizraim is Mizraim. So these names that I'm using, like Mizraim and what other name did I use? Alkebulan. These names are the biblical names. So what they did also was to confuse us. They changed the names of people and places in the Bible. So essentially what you have to do is you kind of have to Google in what does this mean in Hebrew. So like I did when I was trying to see the Hebrew name from Africa, I had to type in, well, what is the Hebrew name for Africa? And it came up Alkebulan. So in the Bible, you will see Africa as Alkebulan. And in the Bible, you will see Egypt. You might see it as Egypt, but depending on what translation, you might see it as Mizraim. So you have to kind of look up, well, what is the modern day term for this place? Or what is the name for, what is the biblical name for this modern day place? I hope I'm making sense. So the ancient name for Egypt is Mizraim. It's Mizraim. So Egypt is Hebrew for Mizraim. So Egypt, what a lot of people don't know is that Egypt actually means house of bondage. Most people don't know that, okay? That's who enslaved the Hebrews, okay? The Egyptians. Remember I said that Africans, they are African, but they're really Egyptians. So they biblically, from a biblical standpoint, Africans are Egyptians. And so in the Bible, under the leadership of Pharaoh, King Pharaoh was an Egyptian king. So he was a black man. He was an African, and the children of Israel, okay, the Hebrews, they were enslaved up under him. That's why Moses, God told Moses, go tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Now we know this man right here and people of his color, they was never enslaved, okay? And people like to throw up the Holocaust, but the Holocaust was not slavery. It was not servitude, okay? Those people were never in slavery, and they were never in slavery for 400 years. So actually, the word Egypt means house of bondage, okay? So, Ham, okay? Noah had 3 sons, okay? He had Ham, Japheth, and what was the other? And Shem, okay? They like to say that we are anti-Semitic. But how can we, and Semitic means that they come from the bloodline of Shem, okay? We are Semites, black people, okay, Negroes. We are Semites. And what that means is that we descend from the line of Shem, okay? Remember I said Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And black people, us Negroes, so-called African Americans, the bloodline that we descend from is Shem, okay? So you may say Shemites or Semites. So what they try to do now, because they know that black people are waking up all around the world and we coming into the knowledge of the truth, they like to try to say we anti-Semitic. Because see, you got to realize you got imposters over there in Israel, in our land, pretending to be us, right? Taking on who we are biblically, and they're saying that they're Semites, that they're Shemites, that they descend from the line of Shem, but they don't. We do. And they're taking on our identity, okay? Identity fraud. If identity fraud was a person, those false Jews over there in Israel pretended to be us. No, they're imposters, okay? And so they're saying that they're calling black people like me who know the truth. They're saying, well, you anti-Semitic. Well, how can I be anti-Semitic if I'm Semitic? I descend from the line of Shem. So how can I be anti against my own people? You see, but they don't want us to know that. No, sweetie. We are the Shemites. We descend from Shem. Okay. So Ham is one of Noah's sons. So Noah had 3 sons. Okay. Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So in the Zondervan Dictionary's Compact Bible, I'm going to give you the definition of ham, okay, of ham, biblical ham, not ham like Thanksgiving ham, but Ham's son from the Bible. So if you get a chance, Google this for yourself. Don't just take my word for it, but look up, all you gotta do is just Google it, or you can buy the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary if you want to, because I do plan to invest in it. But Google that. And the reason why I want you to Google that is because if you just buy a Bible dictionary from Walmart and you look up this definition, like I have one in there, when you look up the term ham or Ham, Noah's son, it's going to give you a little pity-patty definition of who Ham was. No, after this, you read this definition right here, it's going to make sense to you, and you're gonna understand why this is significant. Okay, so Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dog races. Now, I really want you to pay attention to this right here, what I'm about to say. Okay, progenitor. What is a progenitor? That's the father, right? The father of the dark races. But check this out. He became the progenitor of the dark races. Okay, pay attention. Not the Negroes. Did you hear what I said? He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. Now remember, I just said Noah had 3 sons, right? So all the people of the earth descended from those 3 sons. So you got 3 different bloodlines, basically. So what you got Semites, who are black people, Negroes. Us, we descend from the line of Shem. And then you have Ham, which Africans, okay, the Egyptians, they descend from the line of Ham. And then you have Japheth, your European, your Roman, and all them other folks, they descend from Noah's other son, Japheth, okay? So it say he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians. Now, what did I just say? I just said the Egyptians are Africans, right? So basically, he was the father of the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. Now, all these places that I just named to you are in Africa, okay? The Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. All those places are in Africa. Now, Ham was the father. The dictionary just said Ham was the father of the dark races, but not the Negroes. So we know that Africans and black people, we all come in a variety of different shades and dark races. So if he was the father of the dark races, but not the Negroes, then that means somebody else had to be our progenitor, which I just said that our progenitor was Shem. We're Semites. Genesis 10:6 says, the sons of Ham were Cush, Egypt, Put, and Cain. So Ham had 4 sons. Now you see, most people when they read and they study the Bible, they skip through all them bloodlines and places and stuff. But this stuff is really supporting because it lets you know who is who and where they came from in the modern day terms now of who is who. Because see, all this stuff is going to come into play with Bible prophecy. So you want to know who is who because God is going to judge nations, okay? He's going to judge nations. And remember, I told you the other day that he is coming back for a people, okay? Basically, God is going to avenge his people. You know, they got to pay for all the innocent blood and stuff that was shed. They got to pay. But everybody want to teach God is just love. God is just love, 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 love. This man right here, when you see him, love, 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 love. No, but God is also a God of war. He reigns on the just and the unjust. God is a God of war. So, okay. So Ham had, refer to Genesis 10 and 6, okay? The sons of Ham were Cush, Egypt, Put, which is P-U-T, and Canaan. So if you look up, because when they got ready to, when the sons got ready to have their land divided up and stuff, what they used to do was they used to name the places and the regions where they settled after their sons and their wives and all that kind of stuff. That's what they did. So that's how these places got their names, is from Ham's son. Okay, Cush, which is in Egypt, got its name from this Ham's son Cush. Egypt got its name from Ham's son Egypt. Put got its name from Ham's son's Put, and Canaan got its name from Ham's son Canaan. So Ham had 4 sons, and all of these places are in Africa. And remember, I just said that Ham was the progenitor of the dark races, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, the Canaanites. Okay, so what does Cush mean in Hebrew? Okay, in Hebrew, Cush means black. Now, remind you, I just said that Cush was one of Ham's sons. Okay, so Cush in Hebrew means black. The Egyptians called their country Kem, okay, K-E-M, or Kemet, K-E-M-E-T, which means black land or land of the blacks. So if you ever hear the word Kemet or Kem, it means land of blacks or the black land. Okay, so Lamentations, okay, Lamentations chapter 4 verse 8. In Lamentations, this is right in the Bible. A lot of what I'm teaching you is right in the Bible, but you have to connect the dots and you have to study. You have to start piecing things together, because remember, the Bible says that when the Spirit of truth comes, He will lead you into all truth. Okay, He will divide what is true from what is false. Okay, so Lamentations, right? This is in the Bible. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 8. If you can follow along, or if you want to go back and look for yourself in your own time, feel free to do so. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 8. Their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. Okay. It said that their visage is blacker than coal. Okay. Now, what is the definition of visage? Visage means a person's face. Okay. So that lets you know that in the movie portrayals, what do? They condition you and they try to make you think that all the people, all the biblical characters, they try to make you think that they all look like this man right here. But as you can see, if you watch yesterday's video and today, you can see that that's inaccurate. It's not true. It's a bald-faced lie. I'm going to just say it. So Ham's son Cush. In the Bible, Cush is modern day Ethiopia. Okay, so in the Bible, Ethiopia was known as Cush, but in today's time, Cush is known as Ethiopia, which we know is in Africa. Okay, so Ethiopian was a Greek word for black skinned people. Ham's son Egypt. We already know that Egypt is in Africa. We learned this on yesterday. Put, okay. Put is used in the Bible for ancient Libya, okay. One of Ham's son is Put. So ancient day Put would be modern day Libya, okay? Libya is a place in North Africa. And then you have Ham's son Canaan, which we know that Canaan is in Northeast Africa. Okay. Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 6. Do not look upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. Lamentation 5, verse 10. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. And the definition of lament means to express passionately grief or sorrow, or a crying out in grief or wailing. And every time that the children of Israel went into captivity for idolatry, okay, worshiping after false gods and stuff. That's why a lot of us don't know, because I'm pretty much done. That's all the notes that I have today, so I'm gonna just freestyle a little bit before I get ready to go. But a lot of people don't know why, or I'll say black people don't even know why we went into slavery after slavery in the first place. So if people actually study the Bible, you have the children of Israel, slavery was a recurrent central theme in the Bible, and they went into captivity after captivity 5 times in the Bible. Okay, I left my notes in the room, but let me see, the Assyrians enslaved them, the Persians, the Romans, the Greeks, and the Babylonians. Now, these are not in order. I have them written down in order in my room in the Bible. But yes, slavery was a central theme in the Bible, and they were they went into captivity 5 different times. The Assyrians enslaved them. Well, first, foremost, I do know the Egyptians. That was first when they was up under Pharaoh. Okay, they was serving slavery in Egypt. Okay. And Moses, he led them out of Egypt, which Exodus, you will find that in the book of Exodus, which Exodus means exit, to exit, okay? They exited out of Egypt, okay? So, but yes, they were enslaved by the Egyptians. They was enslaved by the Assyrians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Babylonians, and the Romans, okay? So, why did God keep allowing them to go into captivity after captivity after captivity after captivity? You would have think they would have learned their lesson, but they didn't. They was hard-headed. We the same hard-headed, stiff-necked people of today. We descend from them same people. Y'all know how black people is. Some of us just hard-headed and stiff-necked. That's even in the Bible. But and every time God got ready to do something, he would raise up a prophet. That's because see, what they don't want you to know is we are a royal priesthood, black people, okay? And God created all people to worship him. That's why we were put here to worship him. But God is a holy God, right? He's holy, and he has expectations. And so God have a people. He have a bloodline of people, right? Us, a chosen people. See, black people, we are a chosen people, a royal priesthood. We come from kings and queens. We come from greatness, okay? But because, and God had a chosen people. And see, he was our God first. He was the God of Israel first before he came everybody else God. What happened was he had a chosen people, and he wanted us to be a set apart people that kept his commandments and covenants. And what happened when Moses led them out of the land of Egypt, they went into an agreement, basically a blood covenant with the Most High. I think it was up on Mount Sinai. And they agreed that because he led them out of the land of Egypt, that they would keep his commandments and his laws and his statutes. But they didn't keep their end of the bargain, okay? When, what's his name? When Moses went to go, I think he went to go get the commandments or something. Don't make me lie, I gotta look it up again. But he left Aaron, his brother, in charge over them. And when Moses was gone, they talked Aaron into making them a gold calf. Okay, they took their jewelry and stuff, and they, in a sense, forgot about God, that God had just led them out of the land of Egypt, out of the land of captivity from under Pharaoh, okay, when he parted the Red Sea. And they, in a sense, forgot about that. They turned their back on God. And when Moses went to go do what he had to do, they taught Aaron into molding them a golden calf. This is all what I'm saying to you is right in the Bible. And they formed this golden calf out of pure gold, and they said, we're gonna worship this golden calf. This is our God. How is this God, y'all God, when got the real God, Yahweh of the Bible, he led y'all out of Egypt through his deliverer, through his prophet Moses. Did y'all just forget what happened? Did y'all just forget the servitude that y'all was over there serving in slavery? So how can this golden calf be your God, right? And so when Moses came back, he was furious. He was furious at them, and he made them melt the gold down. And I remember they had to drink it, and I know it was bitter or whatever as punishment, because what Moses did, he spoke on their behalf, and he was like, Lord, please don't, because God was furious. He like, y'all idolatrous people, I led you out of slavery, and this is what you do to me. You turn your back on me and you do this is what you do. This is how you repay me for what I did for you. And he made them drink it, but Moses pretty much talked them out of the vengeance of God. And so, they was like, okay, God, we're gonna do right. But no, they didn't. They kept following in the ways of the other nations, the pagans, okay, them Africans, them idolatrous Egyptians, right? They kept following in their ways, after the ways of the Gentiles, okay, the heathens. They wanted to be like the other nations, but God didn't call them to be like the other nations. He wanted them to be a separate, set apart people, a royal priesthood. And so that's why he kept allowing them to go into captivity after captivity, and they never did learn their lesson, because they was just wanted to be hard-headed, disobedient, and idolatrous. So that's pretty much what happened, and that's what's happening now. We're supposed to be a set apart people, and that's why the position that you see, white people in, I'm gonna just say that's supposed to be our position. Like how they seem like they always got it made and have better credit and all of that. We supposed to be on top and not at the bottom. We supposed to be the head and not the tail. We supposed to be the lenders and not the borrowers, okay? But because we messed up and we didn't keep our end of the bargain, we didn't keep our covenant, the roles reversed. But the Most High prophesied all of this. Is right in Deuteronomy chapter 28. He told them what would happen to them. Matter of fact, he told them they was going to go into slavery. He prophesied this to them in Deuteronomy chapter 28 when he gave them the blessings and the curses of disobedience. He flat out told them what would happen to them if they disobeyed him, if they didn't keep his commandments. And everything that he prophesied in Deuteronomy chapter 28, the blessings and the curses, well, the curses happened, and they still happening today. But I'm going to get into all of that. This is not the video for that. But I'm trying to see, is there anything else that I want to say in this video? I think that's pretty much it for today. So I thank y'all for joining in and watching. If you didn't get to catch the video from yesterday, go back and watch that. And like I said, every day I'm just gonna build and build and build and build and build for the next 28 days. And I pray that all of the scripture and props and illustrations and things that I'm sharing with you, I pray that it's intriguing you, and I pray that it's encouraging you to do your own research and not just take my word from what I'm saying, because we need to know what's going on in these last days, and we need to know where we come from as a people. We do have a heritage, y'all. We have a heritage. We are a royal priesthood. We And this man is an imposter. I'm sorry, but he is sorry, not sorry. I'm going in for the whole month of February in 2022, and I'm gonna be unapologetic about it. So catch the replay from yesterday if you didn't, and if you came in late on this one, just go back and watch it from the beginning. And I thank y'all for joining in. I pray y'all got something from today and yesterday. So y'all have a blessed day. Bye. And see y'all tomorrow, probably around the same thing, same time, like 9:30 or 10.